We are live. Welcome to the first Live, Love, Laugh, and Let Go Out Loud update show. And today,
Oh my gosh, Lynn, you're going to get to talk to Tammy today? The actress, the realtor, the inspiration. Oh, she's amazing. I'm going to go get my coffee and watch.
before I bring her in, I got a little intro video and we'll be right back. And this little video, it's kind of a little bit of what's been going on since she's been gone. So I'm going to ask her some questions about some of these videos here. So you pay attention. We'll be right back. Hey, welcome.
Hey,
This is my
hi
friend
there. Good morning,
Tammy.
Lynn.
Hi. Mwah. Hi, amor.
Mwah, mwah. How are you?
How are you? This is so sweet. This is going to be the best. And hi, Sandy. Thank you for being here. I'm just being goofy. I mean, let's face it. I mean, this is the going to be the update shows. I mean, like we know each other, we love each other, and
Yes.
what better way to start my update shows with somebody that the minute I met her, we were like instant besties, and we
Thank
just
you. Yes. Yes, there was definitely a click.
yes, it was. And so much has been going on with you since then. And I think the best way to start is kind of like going back from like when it'll be a year actually in January that you've been here, but we decided to do this a little bit early because there's so much that's been going on in your life. And so I'm gonna kind of I'm gonna kind of pick up from what I remember that was going on, and then we're gonna kind of juggle around a little bit. But I want to go with some happy stuff first. I do know that you are doing a show, a movie.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about that? What happened there? Where's that?
Yeah, that movie, that was we filmed it two years ago. 2 years ago right now, actually. And that movie, because of COVID, was delayed in its release. And it finally came out in March. And that was such an epic experience. Max Adler was one of the co-stars. Max Adler was on one of the TV shows. Oh my gosh, now it's escaped me. But where they Glee. He was on
Okay.
Glee.
Yeah.
And he was a regular on Glee, and I guess he started out as a guy nobody liked and then became this awesome dude. And I hung out with Max a whole lot while we were filming that. And then Sean Patrick Flannery from Boondock Saints, he was one of the co-stars of the film. And Nicolas Cage's son, Weston Coppola is what he goes by. He was one of the other stars. And Michael J. White brought in his like ninja skills and fighting skills. He's an actor with a martial arts background. So that movie was released in March, Assault on VA 33, and it was it's awesome. It's so cool. Like I had a small little extra role in there. I was a silent actress because I don't have my SAG card, which is what allows you to have lines in film. And so that movie came out, and that was it was just so cool. It was so cool to be associated with it, and it's done really well internationally, and it's fun. People will see it. I've had so many people reach out like, oh my gosh, I just saw you. Like I'm just in this few clips, right? Like I just saw you in the middle of the movie. So.
I love it. Well, that's where we had left off because it was January and I knew it was going to release sometime. But I mean, even though you don't have your SAG card, I mean, I know that you're really connected with a lot of, celebrities and things like that and stuff. So it was so funny, but I didn't realize you didn't have your SAG card yet. And so I did this little video. So it kind of answers some of my questions, but I'm still going to throw this little video in there anyways. So where is your acting career going to go next? What would you like to portray next if you're going to pursue more acting?
Oh, well, yeah, I will say, I I was part of that film as a producer, and I just got the benefit of being an extra in the show. And so my next would probably be one I will absolutely. I love the FBI officer, police officer, detective. Those kind of roles are right up my alley, like being inquisitive and asking questions and solving the crimes, you know. So I think that if I were to take on roles, that's what it would probably be. That or mom, because I have mom mastered, so I can play an extra mom somewhere. And I did consider getting my SAG card because I thought we were going to make more films, but we had, you know, the COVID disruptions. And so some of those plans have changed. And I've been so busy on my other projects that was just a great opportunity. I've actually helped produce 3 films now. And it's always fun. It's great to be part of something creative.
Well, you know, it's funny you say creative, and I have a means to the purpose of why I'm doing what I'm going to show next. You have no idea, but just play along with me for a second, okay? So,
All
like,
right.
I'm just doing my thing, and there's a reason why I got this little collective of pictures together. But I'll let you talk about it first. So here's this, and there's no, and when I play this, there is no sound, so you can talk and
Okay.
say whatever you think about these pictures you see, okay?
Okay. Okay.
And just okay, so here we go. I love my show. I love what I do. Here we go.
You do a
Here we
great
go.
job.
Thank you. Here we go.
Oh, okay. Yes. That's my Mastermind Central. It's a mastermind I've been part of for 6 years now, with Kyle Wilson, who was Jim Rohn's business partner for 18 years.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So we gathered that was our first live event at Kyle's house for the first time in 2+ years.
So I'm gonna play, and with just the pictures you see, tell me and talk about from what you see.
Okay.
And play along with me. I won't play it again.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, Ron White, that's my buddy, Ron White, and our other friend. Oh my gosh, I can't believe her, Brandy. They both spoke. Ron White is the black belt of memory, and he was on the show Superhumans, where, I mean, he's incredible.
Oh, okay. Well, speaking of Ron White.
Hey, well, it's awesome, Lynn, that I hear you're going to be interviewing my good and close friend, my great friend, Tammy Mitchell, on your program. Tammy is not only somebody who is a great business person, knowing a lot about real estate and investing and just business in general, and who knows what she's going to share with you, the kind of wisdom, but she's also just somebody who's been a great friend to me over the last couple of years. It's been difficult 2 years for me, and she has been there with me every step of the way, sharing her wisdom and sharing her insights that have really helped me overcome a lot of things and a lot of obstacles. This Saturday, it'll be 2 years since I have had a drink of alcohol, and she has played an instrumental role in that. But she's a great friend to me. She's helped me through some great, difficult times with her wisdom, and I don't know what wisdom she's going to be sharing with you today, whether it's business wisdom or personal development wisdom or what, but I know that I am eager to hear the great feedback from you and all your listeners for the information that she's about to share. Hey, Tammy.
On.
I got you!
Oh, thank you. You did get me. Oh my gosh, I love Ron.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you so much, because I love what I do, and I can't do it without collaboration. So thank you, Ron, from the bottom of my heart.
Yeah. Ron's a real special friend. Thank you. Wow, that's awesome.
Well, Tammy, you know, it's one thing when I know I adore you and I love you, and you know, people can't take my own word for it, but I love when I can validate it by someone that truly knows you, that's been in your life, that you've impacted and has nice words to say. And you also mentioned another person in there.
Tammy, hi, beautiful soul. I'm grateful to know you. You are not only successful and ambitious, but you take time to help people, to serve others. You are a phenomenal leader, and I know this past year was certainly not without challenges for you, but you were strong, you are resilient, and I look forward to seeing what 2022 holds for you. And I hope that you know how much you are valued, how much you are appreciated, and you really are a gem and a gift to this world.
And thank you, Brandy. I'm gonna have her on the show before the
Brandy.
end of the year
Yeah,
too.
you
So
will love having Brandy on
yeah,
the show. Brandy's so beautiful in her heart, her soul, her wisdom. She's an attorney by trade, and she's really pursuing her passion to help people shine in their excellence and pause. That's really, she teaches people to pause and really love yourself so you can love others. And Brandy's just special.
I actually had the privilege with the being the director, the short-lived director and program director for the LA Tribune, and I did a little thing for her. She won the opportunity to be advertised over there. So I had the privilege of knowing her
Sweet.
there. That
Yeah.
so yeah. So this will be the second time I get
And
to
I met
interview her.
her through Clubhouse.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I
Yeah.
met her
That's
through
where
her.
I met you too.
Yeah, yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, we have Cynthia here. She's from in
Hi,
Maryland.
Cynthia.
And then yeah, so we're really grateful for everybody that's sitting here watching. But again, like Brandy mentioned, you did have struggles this year, and I'd like to talk now a little bit about the update on your struggles and the scares you had this year.
Yeah. So I wasn't sure if I was going to pause for photos. No, but I did, I definitely had some health obstacles, some things kind of built on each other, and there were a couple of
None.
challenging moments, but the most recent, the one that was real significant and, really makes you cherish and appreciate not only life, but the people in your life and the projects that, what you realize is you have to pause and you have to trust that you don't have to do everything, because we always think we have to do everything. But yeah, I got sick with COVID in August, and it was my second bout since COVID's been around, and COVID wasn't the problem, but it was an inconvenient cold for me this time. But I was on a medication that I had an adverse reaction to, which had some complications. And then as soon as I thought I was in the clear, I had a ruptured appendix. And that was a close call. Ron White is actually the person who I had, my friend Eberhard and my friend Ron White. I was messaging with them the day I went to the hospital, and Ron emphatically said, "Tammy, go to the hospital right now. Stop, go, take care of this," because he actually had a ruptured appendix 2 years prior. And as we were talking, he said, this is life and death. You can die. You need to go. And he's right.
Oh,
and I was in a pretty
goosebumps.
precarious.
Goosebumps.
Yeah. I was in a pretty precarious situation, and I didn't feel like I had an appendicitis. I was like, it didn't feel like what I thought it should feel like. But it's not like you get an appendicitis multiple times in life. It's a one and done experience. Yeah. So I do. You got to pay attention, and I think I'm pretty in tune with my body. But I was totally wrong on that one. I just thought it was something related to everything else I had been going through, and truly, it was very dangerous. It was a very tricky situation. It took a long time. It was so bad. It took me about 6 weeks to heal from surgery. And typically, if you handle things right and get in there before it ruptures, it can be a 3-day recovery. So
yeah.
Thank you, Cynthia.
Yes, I am too.
It. I am so grateful to be here and be on Lynn's show. And I really, truly have been so blessed with amazing people who have loved me through this really interesting, challenging year. And just the prayers, I'm going to tell you, I pray for people when they're going through a hard time, and I'm aware of it. And I'm not one to put out on social media to ask for prayers. I've just always been a little personal about my hardships and struggles. And that day I needed prayers, and I knew I needed prayers. and I asked, and so
I
many
remember that.
people, they prayed for me. They sent me follow-up prayers and love and concern. And some people were like, "Come on, hurry up, get well. Why is this taking so long?" And I agreed with them. Why is this taking so long? I also learned that surgery is very inconvenient, but it's an excellent weight loss program. So, but I'm grateful. I'm so grateful. I put all my work on pause. Yes, Colleen, I agree. There are hard times all over the planet, and
You know,
that's a whole conversation I could have. But no, I feel like I have a light to share. I have things to be here for. I have children to be here for, and impact to make. And no matter how hard some of these struggles are, I'm not done. My purpose is not over. So I'm here to fight, and I will prevail. So
absolutely. Well, you know, it's funny because our birthdays are only one day apart, and I'm older than you, so I'm going to give you all the wisdom I can because you got to proceed way after me. but but definitely, I think it has to do a little bit with our signs and stuff. We are ones that we love to give and whatever, but it is hard for us to receive. But I do know that the whole prayer thing, we know that we ask, and we know if we pray that God will give us. And then it's not like we are doubting that he's going to answer our prayer, but it is amazing that we love to have everybody pray with us for somebody else, but it is hard to ask for yourself. you know
yeah.
it's but it is a humbling thing to do, but it's also nice to be on the receiving end, to really know how it feels to be humble and to be at the mercy to say, I do, I do need that prayer, and just like our birthdays, because you and I were talking yesterday that we know that, this time of year, it's a hustle and bustle. Everybody's going about their business and, taking respite from social media or whatever. It's just, we don't take it personal because we know it's such a busy time on top of the holidays. A birthday on top of it is difficult, so that we don't hold anything. But when you get older and you've been through things in your life, you realize how much you cherish and how much it means when you do get a birthday wish. So, like, I stop and pause to, give that happy birthday to somebody to recognize them.
Absolutely, 100%. And yes, we did talk about this last night. And birthdays are, I have people in my life who don't celebrate birthdays, and I've always really struggled with that for two reasons. One, I was raised with a mom who celebrated our birthdays, and I have always done similar to her. I've done great birthday celebrations for my children, especially, and tried to give that to other people where I can, or step up where I'm asked to, because I love celebrating other people. And birthdays are the easiest way to identify a milestone to celebrate that person, right? That's like, you can do it every year. And the other is being a mom. I feel like I celebrate the fact that those people came into this earth, and I get to share life with them. And so I can only imagine how everybody I know, they have a mom, and whether that mom is here or not, that mom celebrates that day like no other, right? The birthdays of one's children. So I'm like, look, you're cherished. I don't care what's going on in your life. You are cherished and you are celebrated. And my mother-in-law, she had a birthday a week ago, and she doesn't celebrate birthdays through her religion, but she celebrated this year because I acknowledged it, because I went over and I took my son, we took her a cake pop, and I know she's the last surviving member of her 7 siblings, and she recognized how precious the date of her birth is relative to every other day. And she celebrated, and she cried. She had tears in her eyes, and she loved the Facebook post, and all my friends like engaged and loved it and made comments of happy birthday. And she said it was the most love she had felt on her birthday ever. And I love that I could give that to her. And it was such a little thing, Lynn. It was such a tiny little thing for me to do. but it lifted her heart and her spirit, and it made me cry because I was able to give something to somebody that they would never do for themselves.
And that was the thing for the people that forgot that were closest to me because they were busy, the people that I don't talk to ever that took the time, it like filled those potholes. And it was like, wow, so it's just it's paying it forward, whatever. It's just amazing. And when you realize that it takes realizing what's been missing to be on the other receiving end, to seeing it from a different perspective,
Sure.
to
Oh,
get the whole, and I'm all about perspective all the time. So to see it from a different angle every time, it's just an awesome thing. You get something out of it.
yeah. Well, and I know you and I both believe in celebrating people every day and all our encounters with them. And I mean, I don't get it right all the time. I sometimes I'm human and I'm grumpy, but I try really, really hard to, show up with a smile and a hello and an acknowledgement. And, whether it's thanking the person who's bagging my groceries or, smiling and waving at the postman or whatever it is, like there's just because it doesn't just make that person feel seen and acknowledged and celebrated on some level, it makes me feel alive too,
Yeah.
right? So
Oh, when I see somebody grumpy and literally like walking just like with a whatever, and it's even more when I was younger and I didn't know the impact it had on it. And to me, I guess I didn't even have an idea that, like somebody's spouse could have, they could have just had they could have had cancer, they could have just lost a spouse. Like I didn't realize the ramifications of their sadness. But to
right.
me it was like I couldn't allow. I literally would go out of my way like, "Hi, how you doing?" And I mean, I would do whatever I could do, jumping jack. I mean, I literally would do, and I would make them smile. I mean, like, it took me some work, but I would do whatever I could to make that person smile. And now I realize, gosh, some people just didn't want to smile, but I made them smile, and made them change their thoughts. But again, I didn't realize that sometimes some people couldn't because they were stuck in their story or where they were in life. And and that makes me sad. That makes me sad. So if I can just let them know for even a minute, we have the right to not, live in that mindset, to be there. It's okay. We're safe. We're okay. It's hard, and it's hard to miss the people and our pets and our, our past lives and things before COVID and all that. It's sad and it is hard, but everything is like the weather. Things change. Nothing stays the same.
You reminded me of something that I experienced from a grief standpoint. Is it okay if I share really quickly?
Yes, absolutely.
As you were talking, it reminded, and I think about this periodically, and I talk about it when it comes to me as an awareness to talk about because it's important. But when I lost my dad 22, almost 23 years ago to suicide, and I was 26, and I didn't know a lot about dealing with death in general, suicide at all, grief at all. I just had never had that level of grief to confront. And this was the internet was a baby at the time. There weren't, all these, resources at my fingertips, or I didn't know how to find them anyway. And I wasn't looking for them. But what I really want people to know is having loss is normal. Having bad days is normal. That's going to happen. Having grief, it's normal. What I experienced when I was going through the grief was I felt guilty if I laughed,
Mhm.
if I smiled. I felt this survivor's guilt is what I
Mhm.
felt. Is I had all these like, oh, I can't enjoy this food. My dad's not here to enjoy this. I can't laugh at this movie. My dad didn't see this movie, or I can't watch this movie I used to watch with my dad because he's not here. And it took me probably 6 months of as soon as it took me probably 2 or 3 months to laugh or smile much at all. Just I was in such a state of shock and grief and stress and fear. And then all of a sudden I realized I started doing things. I remember I went to Hawaii with my then boyfriend, and I felt guilty because I'd find myself starting to enjoy the moment, and I'd catch myself and literally like take a deep breath and go like, I can't enjoy this. And my then boyfriend was wonderful at saying, yes, you can, you know, like your dad would want you to. And I went through a grief counseling program that was phenomenal. And I really had to learn to live, love, laugh, and let go. Even with great loss and even with great grief, and not live in the grief. And so I just love that, you know, and that's where I really started focusing on my smile campaign and my giving love to strangers campaign. You don't have to touch somebody or know somebody to share love with them. And so those are just things I innately do when I'm out and about, because I don't know what they're going through, their grief, their depression, their tragedy. But if I can lift their spirit for 2 seconds, if I can shift their mindset for 2 seconds, it might shift their mindset for a week or a month or a year. Just the incremental love.
Tammy, talk about being the first one for the updates. That's a absolutely reason why we need to have the Live, Love, and Let Go Out Loud and the updates, because even from a year ago and even now, you know, we being successful and going on, we still have things in our past that trigger us, remind us, and that we have to stop, acknowledge, and reflect on and see, engage in going on. And we'd still need to, you know, check with ourselves and see where we're at. And for you to go forward and acknowledge that and share that with everybody, that is so important. And thank you for, you know, solidifying the fact of what I'm doing, and the importance of knowing that we should be loving and letting go and going on, and you know, and updating ourselves. This is really important, and I think that was a great message, and I'm glad that it came right now for you to do that, because I do know that your dad's here with us. He's always there with you, and that you know, he's proud of you, and we forget that we are all one and we are all just the image of each other. So the mirroring that you do and the reflection that you have, and I just love that you had the wisdom to talk to Ron, and that he had the wisdom to mirror you what you didn't want to acknowledge in yourself. You were staying of such a strong mindset that you're okay, you are fine. But he mirrored that you weren't fine, and he heard that. And again, sometimes when we don't hear things, but we speak to people that telling you what we don't want to hear. So again, these are great messages going forward, that when you're compelled to speak, you speak. You may not be able to speak to yourself, but when you speak to someone else, they may be the one to tell you what you need to hear. And so
That's true.
I just love that. I got so much out of that, and I just love you so much. I did a couple other silly things that I want to do before we wrap it up here, but is there anything else you want to share?
Oh, I
Um,
just love being. I love that I'm the first rerun. I'm the first revisit guest.
yes.
Thank you so much for that honor, and it's been such a joy knowing you. And thank you for all your love and support and being my sister Sag. So yeah, but thanks for having me and sharing and allowing people to embrace living, loving, and laughing and letting go. So
Oh, well, I did some goofy stuff here, okay? So it's corny. People can fast forward. You can leave now if you want to. But no,
right, show me. I'm ready.
but first, the sincerity one first. Hey, Tammy, it's me. Thank you so much for being on the show today. I appreciate you, adore you, and love you so much. You're so much fun to spend time with. And time just goes by so fast, and we never get time to spend time to take together. So thank you for stopping in on the show and giving us an update. And I look forward to the next time we can update again. But let's not make it this long, and let's make it more than once a year. Love you. God bless, and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Oh,
That
love
was,
you. Thank you. Yes, we'll definitely have to do more than once a year.
yeah, for sure. We're talking about doing some collab down the road anyhow. So this is yet not done. So I got two other little things here.
I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart.
Merry Christmas.
I really can't sing, so filters really help me. And you guys, I do have my Live, Love, Laugh, and Let Go Out Loud. I'm having a show next in a half an hour from now, and I got to get ready for that new stage. But this was just a little thing that rolled off my tongue just a little bit ago, and here's the last one, and then we're gonna roll out of here with the intro out. So hold on, and don't leave me, Tammy. We're at the end of the show now, and we must go. But it was really fun to spend time with you on my show. So thank you for being here. Until we are together again, just know that I love spending time with you. Much love, peace. Make sure you live, love, and laugh. Until then, bye-bye. I'm so goofy, but hey, I can laugh at myself, so.
Hey, absolutely. That's living.
That's right.
living.
Mission accomplished. You guys, love you. God bless you, and have a great day.